With its native coin and digital payment mechanism, XRP has become a major participant in the cryptocurrency space. The distinctive place that Ripple occupies on the centralization and decentralization spectrum is one of its most fascinating features. Ripple has adopted a more centralized model, in contrast to several other cryptocurrencies that aim for total decentralization. In today's video, we will explore the merits of Ripple's centralized versus decentralized architecture, weighing the pros and cons of each strategy. We will be examining the dynamics of both centralization and decentralization in general. So grab a seat, and let's dive right into this heated discussion. Let's begin by learning about the architecture of Ripple. The centralized organization, a consensus process at the heart of Ripple's architecture, depends on a network of reliable nodes. Financial institutions and other companies that Ripple has authorized are in charge of running these nodes. This regulated network is the recommended option for international payments since it enables quicker transaction validation. Quickness and effectiveness. The quick processing of transactions is one of the main benefits of Ripple's centralized model. The pre-established group of trusted nodes ensures quick consensus, allowing for almost instantaneous transactions. Verification. This has the potential to be revolutionary in the realm of financial transactions, where time is frequently of importance. The ability to scale centralization enables greater scalability. Because the network does not experience the issues with consensus that completely decentralized blockchains do. The Ripple Protocol Consensus Method, RPCA, which is the consensus method used by Ripple, guarantees that the network can process a high volume of transactions without compromising speed or effectiveness. Adherence to regulations. Higher levels of regulatory compliance are made possible by Ripple's centralized structure. The platform follows set rules and procedures and collaborates closely with authorities and financial organizations. Broader adoption may result from this compliance since it may boost confidence among regulatory agencies and traditional banking institutions. Dispersed vision. Even though Ripple has some centralization, its long-term goals must recognize the company's dedication to decentralization. With time, Ripple hopes to cultivate a more decentralized ecosystem by progressively relinquishing more authority over the network. Safety and tenacity. Decentralization is frequently linked to higher resilience and security. Because there isn't a single point of failure in a decentralized system, there is less chance of malicious assaults or system malfunctions. As it moves closer to a more decentralized architecture, Ripple wants to make use of distributed networks' advantages without sacrificing security. Empowerment of communities. For many cryptocurrency fans who desire community empowerment and engagement, decentralization is in line with their core values. Community members now have more possibilities to participate in the network's governance as validators and as Ripple works toward greater decentralization. Improved lack of trust. Systems that are completely decentralized function without the requirement for trusted parties or middlemen. Many cryptocurrencies are based on this trustless structure, which encourages peer-to-peer transactions independent of centralized organizations. The goal of Ripple's decentralization journey is to decrease reliance on a small number of validators and increase trustlessness. Let us now examine the centralization puzzle. Please remember to click the notification bell and subscribe to our channel to be the first to learn more about the most recent developments around XRP. For some applications, particularly in the financial sector, network control and security centralization may offer a degree of control. Because of its emphasis on working with financial institutions and adhering to regulations, Ripple needs some degree of centralized supervision to uphold security and stop illegal activity. Know your customer and anti-money laundering compliance. Financial institutions are subject to stringent AML and KYC standards, especially when conducting cross-border transactions. Because of its centralized organization, Ripple can efficiently apply and enforce these rules. This compliance guarantees that no unlawful activity, including money laundering, takes place on the platform. Reducing the incidence of duplicate expenditure. Double spending is a major concern in the world of digital currencies, which centralization helps to reduce. By swiftly agreeing, Ripple's trusted nodes prevent double spending from happening. Improving the network's overall security by focusing on the legitimacy of transactions. Quick governance and decision-making. More streamlined governance and decision-making procedures are frequently the outcome of centralization. In Ripple's example, the platform's flexibility to meet market needs and regulatory changes is improved by its ability to collaborate closely with financial institutions and act quickly. Quick protocol upgrades. In a centralized approach, protocol updates. It is possible to make changes quickly. Compared to fully decentralized systems, Ripple can adjust to changing market conditions and develop technology more quickly, keeping its protocol competitive and up-to-date. Effective problem solving. If there are problems or weaknesses, a more centralized paradigm facilitates faster detection and resolution. Because of its network management, Ripple can react quickly to possible threats, protecting user interests and preserving the platform's integrity. Let's now quickly examine the goal of decentralization. Consensus and community involvement. Decentralization is frequently associated with consensus-driven decision-making and community involvement. Ripple wants to include the larger community in network governance as it moves closer to decentralization. Users and validators now have more influence over decision-making processes thanks to this shift, promoting an ecosystem that is more democratic and inclusive. Diversity of validators. A varied collection of validators representing a wide range of interests and geographical areas would be advantageous for a completely decentralized Ripple network. Because of its diversity, the network is more resilient and less vulnerable to local interruptions or focused authority held by particular entities. Enhanced openness. Decentralization lessens the concentration of authority in the hands of a select few, which encourages transparency. Ripple wants to increase openness in its business operations and decision-making procedures as it transitions to a more decentralized model. Users and stakeholders may become more trusting as a result of this openness. Peer-to-peer interaction and transactions devoid of trust. The goal of cryptocurrencies is to enable trustless transactions and direct peer-to-peer engagement without the need for middlemen. Ripple's decentralization is in line with this goal. Transactions between peers. Peer-to-peer transactions could be facilitated via a decentralized Ripple network that doesn't rely on a central authority. The ability for users to transact directly with one another would advance the core ideas of decentralization, as well as financial independence. Smart contracts without trust. Decentralization makes it possible for users to participate in programmable agreements without the need for middlemen, thanks to trustless smart contracts. When included in Ripple's decentralized approach, this feature has the potential to completely change how financial agreements are carried out on the network. What does the hybrid model mean when it talks about finding a balance? Now for our day's primary focus, what does striking a balance mean? The model hybrid? Please remember to click the notification bell and subscribe to our channel to be the first to learn more about the most recent developments around XRP. The cryptocurrency community highly values a centralized approach, but Ripple must carefully balance it with the advantages of decentralization to achieve decentralization. The hybrid model is a stage of transition that integrates the advantages of both paradigms. First, let's discuss gradual decentralization. By gradually introducing decentralized components, the network may retain its security and efficiency as a result of Ripple's approach to decentralization. By taking a staged approach, possible disruptions are reduced, and a seamless transition for users and stakeholders is ensured. Regulated decentralization processes. Specific decentralization initiatives, like increasing the number of reliable validators and dispersing their physical locations, are part of Ripple's plan. While progressively lowering central control, these carefully timed steps aid in maintaining stability. Community input and cooperation. To address issues and take into account different viewpoints, Ripple actively solicits community input and works with stakeholders throughout the decentralization process. The transition will be in line with the interests of the larger Bitcoin community, thanks to this inclusive approach. What advantages does the hybrid model offer, then? The hybrid approach offers several benefits to meet the needs of both institutional and individual users. By maintaining a balance between centralization and decentralization, Ripple can take advantage of each strategy's advantages. Increased security and speed. The managed decentralization process maintains Ripple's advantages in speed and security. Through judicious selection and growing the validator pool, the network can achieve greater decentralization without sacrificing performance. Cooperation and regulatory compliance. Ripple can stay compliant with regulations and maintain its partnership with financial institutions thanks to the hybrid model. This cooperation is essential to ensuring that Ripple is widely used in conventional financial systems. Incentives and community involvement. Through incentives, Ripple promotes community involvement as it is more decentralized. Active participation in network governance by users and validators promotes a sense of shared accountability and ownership. I believe that Ripple's distinct standing in the cryptocurrency market, with its hybrid, there are intriguing considerations about a model that blends aspects of decentralization and centralization. Regarding the prospects for digital finance, the centralized nature of Ripple allows for speed, efficiency, and regulatory compliance, all of which meet the needs of conventional banking institutions. Concurrently, the ongoing process of decentralization is consistent with the values that the larger cryptocurrency community holds dear, including community involvement, security, and transparency. Other blockchain initiatives hoping to close the gap between traditional finance and the decentralized future may be able to follow Ripple's lead as it strikes a careful balance between centralization and decentralization. Beyond its cryptocurrency, the Ripple effect influences conversations about the ideal ratio of decentralization, security, and efficiency in the quickly changing field of digital banking. Now, please share your opinions with me in the comments section. Verify that you enjoy the video, and don't forget to click the notification bell and subscribe. This is a huge assistance for the YouTube algorithm. By sharing this, you can also assist in enlightening others in the same way that you have been enlightened. Video to as many people as we can. Let's spread this news far and wide, people. If you're a true enthusiast of cryptocurrencies, make sure to watch all of our stuff. I'll see you tomorrow to discuss the most recent news that affects our community as a whole.